It was just a chair, 4 wooden legs, a straight back, nothing fancy, nothing rare. The kind of chair you'd see in a farmhouse or an old kitchen and forget the moment you walked past it. But this chair was different. It carried something. Heavier than wood, it carried blood. Because for more than a century, every man in the Turner family sat in this chair before leaving for war. And one by one, the chair watched them leave. One by one, it kept their final words. One by one, it outlived them, until only one was left, and that man would face the chair, with the weight of generations pressing down on him. The chair was born at the turn of the century, handmade around 1905 by Samuel Turner, a farmer in the American Midwest. Samuel didn't have much, just a patch of land, a small herd, and hands. Strong from years of labour, but he believed in building things that lasted. Every joint of the chair was carved by hand, each groove sanded until smooth. It wasn't art, it wasn't wealth, it was utility. A seat to rest in after hours of ploughing and sowing. He placed it by the fireplace inside the farmhouse, where winter winds rattled the windows and wood smoke curled through the air. For Samuel, it was just furniture. But what he built wasn't simply a chair. It became a witness, a keeper of family history, and before long, a keeper of tragedy. In 1942, America was at war. Samuel's only son, William, just 22, stood in uniform by the fire. His mother wept silently, straightening his collar, brushing invisible dust from his sleeves. His father sat stiff across the room, pipe in hand, staring into the flames. William eased himself into the wooden chair. The firelight danced on his face, making him look both older and younger all at once. He smiled faintly and said, "Don't worry. I'll be home before Christmas." But Christmas came, and Christmas went. A telegram arrived instead, missing in action. Later, confirmed dead, the family broke apart. His mother collapsed in grief. His father left the house and never returned. The same. And in the corner, the chair stood silent, unmoving, unchanged, but forever tied to the last words William spoke. A generation passed. The farmhouse grew older. Paint peeling, shutters loose, but the chair remained. In 1967, another Turner sat in it. Michael, William's nephew, only 19, full of restless energy, yet carrying a fear too heavy for his young shoulders. The night before his deployment to Vietnam, he sat in the same chair, the same fire, the same silence. His little sister clung to his arm, begging him not to go. His father paced the room, too nervous to sit. Michael forced a grin, cracked a weak joke, tried to ease their fears. But when his eyes met his mother's, she saw the truth. He was terrified. The next morning, he left. Weeks later, the knock came at the door. This time, 2 men in uniform. Michael had been killed on patrol, and once again, the chair remained, a mute witness to another final goodbye. Its wood absorbed tears. Its silence grew heavier, and whispers began. By the early 2000s, the farmhouse sagged with age. The roof leaked. The floor creaked. The fields lay empty. But the chair was still there. This time it was David Turner, grandson to William, nephew to Michael. The wars had changed, but the ritual did not. On the night before shipping out to Iraq, David sat down in the chair. His mother begged him not to go. His father stared at the floor. David tied his boots, straightened his posture, and leaned back. "I'll be fine," he said. "Really? But history doesn't forget." Weeks later, His Humvee struck an IED. The call came to the farmhouse, breaking, the family all over again. And once more, the chair creaked softly in the silence. Its wooden frame seemed to carry more weight than ever before, and the family began to fear it. By now, it wasn't just furniture. It was legend. It was curse. The Turners called it the last seat. Every man who sat in it before war never came back. 3 generations gone. The chair became untouchable. Children were warned not to sit in it. Guests never dared approach it. It stood in the corner, like a sentinel, radiating dread. And yet, when orders came for Daniel Turner, the last surviving grandson, the family's eyes turned once more to the chair. Would he repeat history? Would he carry on the pattern, or would he defy it? The night before his flight, Daniel stood before the chair. The fire still crackled in the hearth. The same shadows stretched across the floor. His grandmother whispered, "Don't sit, Daniel." "Please don't." He hesitated. The weight of generations pressed on his shoulders. 3 ghosts in his bloodline had all made the same choice. He reached out, fingers brushing the wooden armrest, then he pulled back. For the first time in a century, a Turner refused the chair. Daniel kissed his grandmother's cheek, walked out the door, and left without sitting. Months passed, letters arrived, and at last, Daniel returned home, alive. For the first time, the curse seemed broken, or so the family thought. Years later, the old farmhouse was sold. The chair vanished with the auctioned furniture. The family thought they were free. But one afternoon, walking through a small antique shop in Ohio, Daniel froze. There it was, the same chair, the same grooves carved by his great-great-grandfather's hands. The same seat that had swallowed his kin. It stood in the corner, price tag dangling loosely, waiting, as though time had carried it back to him, as though it wasn't finished yet. Daniel turned pale and walked away without a word. But deep down, he knew. The chair was never really gone. Some objects carry more than weight. They carry memory. They carry grief. They carry destiny. Would you sit in this chair, or would you walk away? If you want to hear more untold stories like this, subscribe. Because the next story may just change the way you look at everything around you.